and they were able to get 5 goals in that second half to take a 6-2 lead into the second leg. I know nothing is impossible in football, but come on, Manchester United are in the final of the Europa League. I don't see Roma beating them 4-0. Roma will have to beat them 4-0 to qualify, which is going to be, it's not impossible, but it's going to be really, really difficult. Manchester United absolutely turned it on in that second half. And if they play like that all through the season, then they should not even be playing the Europa League in the first place. They would be in the Champions League, and they will probably be in the semi-final of the Champions League. But we know that they have to settle for the Europa League. And look, when you are that good, when you've got the kind of pedigree that Manchester United has, if you find yourself in the Europa League, the least that will be expected by your fans will be that you should go on to win it. And it will be great if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is able to win this trophy. We all know that they should not even be playing in this competition, but now that they are there, they should be thinking about winning the title. And as for the comments that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made, I thought that AS Roma fans took it too far, the way they reacted and everything. He wasn't really disrespecting them. Sometimes when you are being interviewed in the spur of the moment, there are certain things that you say which you did not really think out, and he just basically said, well, he has not really had time to follow Roma this season, so he doesn't really know much about them and all that. I'm sure with the benefit of hindsight, he will regret some of the things he said. Imagine if Roma had won that encounter, let's say 2-1, because already the fans were, saying some things. They had even put up banners with messages for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and now, thank God, Manchester United were able to come back and they won that game. So I've thought that they overreacted with what he said, but take nothing away from the way they played. Bruno Fernandes, Rantis, Edison Cavani. I don't care how old he is. The way he plays, his movement up front is usually very, very difficult for any opposing team to deal with, and we saw it yesterday. Some fantastic touches on the ball, some fantastic runs, and eventually they just absolutely turned it on. Paul Pogba back playing well, David De Gea back in goal and everything. So it was just a fantastic performance from Manchester United in that second half. And of course, you've got to say they are the favourites for the title now, Manchester United. I really do not see Roma beating them in the second leg, and even if they do, they can afford to lose 3-0 and still qualify. And that's how comfortable their current position is. And so I really cannot see beyond Manchester United. But look, it is football, and we know that things have happened in this sport that you just cannot say this is what is going to happen. But based on what we saw yesterday, I think it would be safe to say that Manchester United are the favourite for the return leg, and they are also the favourite for the title. If they play the way they did in that second half, there is no team that is going to stop them in the Europa League. So well done to Manchester United. For Arsenal, they were able to get themselves out of a very bad situation. At 2-0 down, they had Dani Ceballos sent off. Imagine, and what's the name now? Villarreal. They had chances to score. They have chances to score 2 goals. Samuel Chukwueze. Well, Arsenal have got to thank Bernard Leno for the saves that he pulled off, because after they went a man down, they could have gone 4-0 down, but Bernard Leno made some save, and that's why when somebody said, look, he's not even a world-class goalkeeper and all of that, I'm like, no, because he made a mistake against Everton. That doesn't mean, with the Richarlison strike, it doesn't mean that he's not a good goalkeeper. We've seen him pull off some fantastic saves. Like yesterday, he kept Arsenal in the tie. Arsenal are still in the tie. Arsenal can win 1-0 at home. I have not got to put it past them, but we know that Villarreal have got quality, and they can also score against Arsenal at home. Unai Emery, people were calling for his head yesterday, started without a recognized striker and everything, but eventually you say, okay, they got a man sent off, but even then, they were still able to get a penalty, which was converted by Nicolas Pepe, and then Villarreal also had a player sent off. So it's all to play for in the second half. If that match had ended 2-0, Arsenal would have been in serious trouble.
Yeah.
If Samuel Chukwueze had scored and Bernard Leno had not made that brilliant save, in fact, twice in succession that he made saves, and it had been 4-0 for Villarreal, you say it is all over. But that goal that Pepe scored, the penalty, I believe that Arsenal are going to give it a good fight in the second leg. I'm not saying that they will definitely beat Villarreal, because we know how good Villarreal are, but they gave themselves a massive shot in the arm with that goal that they scored, and they were able to, I thought they were able to really manage the situation well. After they went 2 goals down and a man down, you just felt, the bottoms are going to come off. Arsenal is doomed. But that the final score is Villarreal 2, Arsenal 1. So a 1-0 victory for Arsenal at the Emirates would mean that they are in the final of the Europa League. So we could potentially have an all-England final in the Europa League, and also an all-English final in the Champions League, which would be a fantastic advertisement for English football. There have been this long-standing rivalry, which is the best between the English Premier League and the Spanish La Liga. And we know that Spanish side in the same season have won both the Champions League and the Europa League. We've had an all-English final a couple of times in the UEFA Champions League. It would be absolutely wonderful if they can replicate that in the Champions League and in the Europa League. So we'll see what happens. But yesterday, the 2 English sides, it started badly, but you've got to say, with the way the 2 matches ended, Manchester United absolutely favourite. Arsenal are not completely out of it just yet. It wasn't looking like that the first 20 minutes of that game. It was looking like Arsenal were going to get whitewashed, but it didn't happen. They pulled the goal back, and they were able to, just basically kept it still competitive. So we'll see what happens in that second leg.
Well, against Slavia Prague, same thing happened. They struggled in the first, but in the return leg, they gave out a fantastic performance. So let's see what Mikel Arteta, how he will react to the defeats of from Villarreal yesterday, and it is going to be very, very a special moment for everyone on as far as the return leg is concerned. Okay, let's come back to United. Yes, I know the father has told him to come closer to his home place, and right now he has been linked to Boca Juniors. But I don't know. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says he thinks rather that he can convince him to stay at Old Trafford. But given his performance every time he steps on the pitch, do you think he has enough to convince Cavani to stay, knowing full well that if not given a quite number of opportunities, to have playing time and all that, he might decide to move over to Uruguay or better still Argentina and get closer to home, just like his father asked him to.
He's having a great time at Old Trafford right now. I know maybe the decision has been taken by the family that he should go home and everything, but I think that he's still got a couple of years to play at the very top in England, and we know that if you are talking about the top 5 leagues, the English Premier League is 1 and 2. This cannot be less than second in the top 5 leagues. So if you are there and you are playing well, why not stay and keep enjoying your game? And if your club, like Manchester United now, is doing well, on the verge of winning trophies, so maybe he will want to consider staying. His skills, his quality has never been in doubt all through his career, from Napoli to Paris Saint-Germain, now to Manchester United. We know absolutely, even with the Uruguayan national team, we know that Edinson Cavani, El Matador, is a fantastic player. And as I've mentioned, his movement, his runs off the ball, it's not basically what he does with the ball, but how he positions himself, how he gets into a very crucial spots on the pitch is what I believe separates him. He is maybe you will say, although he's prolific, but he's also a striker that misses many scoring chances. He's not particularly clinical, When looking at the number of goals that he scores every season, you feel, this guy scores a lot, but he also misses a lot. If you follow Edison Cavani's career, you see chances that he has missed that you feel, a more clinical striker will have put that away. But because he gets himself into so many positions, he's very, very useful for the team. Every time he comes on, if he's a substitute, anytime he comes on, you will see that he adds something, he brings something to Manchester United, even at his age. So because of that, I will feel that he deserves a couple of more years at Old Trafford. And if the manager is willing to talk to him to stay, maybe if I could advise him, I would say stay in the English Premier League and play for perhaps 2 more seasons. We used to have a manager at Old Trafford, Sir Alex Ferguson, who will tell his player, he will say, I will tell you when to retire. You don't tell me you want to retire. He did that with Paul Scholes. He did that with Ryan Giggs. In fact, Paul Scholes retired and came back and still won the Premier League, So, looking at him, the way he's playing, I think that he's got some years to contribute. I mean, just look at what he did as recently as last night, less than 24 hours ago. So, Edison Cavani, I believe that they will want to offer him an extension of his contract, but whether he will stay or not is what we do not know. But I think that he should stay. I think he's got the quality.
All right, guys, let's go on our first break on the show, and when we return from this break, we'll be talking more football before coming down to Nigeria to talk about the relay team that will be securing qualifications to the Tokyo Olympics very soon as far as the qualifiers are concerned. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Oh yes, Nasco quality cornflakes are so full of nourishing goodness because they are whole-flaked cornflakes. Whole-flaked cornflakes are made by a natural flaking process that retains all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family. So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole-flaked Nasco cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
Do you know that following people without their consent is stalking and it's an offense? Don't be an offender. We give our consent for you to follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at KUFM Nigeria, on Instagram at KUFM Nigeria, on Twitter at KUFM Nigeria. Check out the latest pictures and videos and catch breaking news, entertainment gist, trending issues and happenings on social media by following us at KUFM Nigeria across the various platforms. KUFM, turn on excitement.
Welcome back, and in case you just joining us, it's T-Sports Fiesta reaching you live on 92.7 KBFM down here in Benin City. Before we went on the break, we told you what happened yesterday as far as the semi-final first legs of the UEFA Europa League is concerned. Yes, United, they are one step into the final. Then for Arsenal, they've also got a chance to book a spot in the final, if only they can grind out the 1-0 win or 2-0 win of 3 or 4, over Villarreal, because they were beaten yesterday 2-1. And now let's come down to Edo State. And yesterday we told you about the reception that the governor will be giving to the Edo athletes who did wonderfully well at the just concluded 20th National Sports Festival that was held here in Benin City. Yes, Edo came out second, and those that made Edo proud, they will be celebrated, both those that work behind the scenes, everyone. And like we told you yesterday, it is going to be strictly by invitation. Don't get to the gate or later at 4 be calling us that I was there to also redress with that, but I was thrown out and all that, because they've said it's only going to be by invitation. So we are looking forward to that. And Ibrahim, the D-Day to be celebrated, and also maybe some people's alerts could be just kind of baka, maybe if not this night, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Hard work, they say. Peace.
Well, we don't know what the governor will do, but I think the most important thing is that you put on the shirt, you celebrate your state, you represent your state with dignity and honor. Same thing for the national team. Whenever you are wearing the national colors, it shouldn't be that you are thinking about a reward. It should first be that you want to give your best. Every other thing can come later, after you've done your best, after you've worked hard. If it comes, fine, but that should not be the reason, for you to be competing. Once you're a professional, you should be paid for your services, but when you are representing your state or your country, then money or financial reward should not be what should be the driving force. I recall a couple of years back when then President Olusegun Obasanjo initiated the presidential handshake approach. It was not received particularly well in Nigeria because people felt, look, when government officials are doing theirs, do they give them presidential handshake? Don't they collect testicles and other things? So let our athletes also be rewarded. Yes, I'm 100% for that, but I'm just saying that it shouldn't be, and you should not be like demanding or whatever. Well, if the government makes promises to the athlete before a competition that gold medalist will get this, silver will get this, bronze will get that, and the competition comes and goes, then you can then be demanding, promises were made and all of that, But if nothing was done and everything, you just accept whatever is given, and it should spur people on. The honor, because you know how many people are in Edo State, even amongst the athletes. You know how many sprinters we have, how many swimmers, how many combat sports guys, how many footballers we have. So if you are selected, it's an honor, it's a privilege for you to even be selected, because you may think you are the best, but when you really go out there, you will know that there are some who are better than you. I know of many sportsmen and women. Let's use football, because that is the most popular sport in Nigeria. I know of some people that I've met in my life, growing up and everything, that I believe were better than some of the guys that eventually played for Nigeria. Seriously, footballers. And I'm like, how come this guy never got the opportunity to play for any of our national teams? And you see some other guys who are there. So if you make it, you should consider yourself that you're privileged to make it. So thinking about reward from the state government or from the federal government should not be the primary objective. But of course, we advocate that something should be given. So Team Edo, having made the state proud, having done well at the National Sports Festival today, the honor alone, the reception that is being organized, the state dinner, I mean, it's not every day that you get to meet the governor. It's not, the governor is busy with so many things. These are challenging times all over the country. So for the government to be taking our time to, let us honor these people. Look, it is enough, even if nothing else is done. That's alone, showing that recognition is enough. But of course, we hope that something more will be done. So we look forward to a great event coming up later today at 6 p.m. at the tennis court of the Samuel Igbomudia Stadium.
All right, from there, let's talk about Nigeria's relay team. Well, they were not granted visas by the Polish government, and it looks as if that's going to really affect their qualification. But the Ministry of Sports, Youth and Sports Development, as well as the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, AFN, they are putting plans. They've put plans together rather to see how relay teams could get qualification. There is a tournament in the United States, and also there's a 5-day tourney here in Nigeria that they're also going to participate in to see how they can meet up with the times that will qualify them for the Olympics. And from Sunday Dare, who is the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, he has said that they are going to ensure that they do everything possible to ensure that relay teams. They have qualification to Tokyo. Well, I think this is something good when you have different ideas and different plans on the table. In case one fails, you have to quickly switch to the other, rather than trying to go back to see what we can do and all that. So, but if you look at it, the relay teams, they've really done well as far as Nigeria is concerned. When you talk about the medals they've won so far, the Olympics, the relay team, I think they've done well. So they deserve to be given every backing right now to ensure that they get to qualify for it.
Our relay teams have traditionally done well in the relays, especially 4x400 meters. Some of the most iconic Olympic medals we won were by the relay teams. Remember the 4x100 meters women relay team at Barcelona 92, led by Marion Yali. Remember the 4x100 meters team at that same Olympic Games, led by Chidimo, but the final leg was anchored by Davison Izinwa. The women won the bronze and the men won the silver behind the United States of America. I remember the 4x400 meters relay team led by Sunday Bada and Clement Chuko was there, but Inefok Edobong with the last leg, and they won a silver medal at the Sydney 2000 Olympics, which has now been upgraded to gold. So I remember Innocent Ebonike when he was there in the 4x400 meters, how they always done well at the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. We got the bronze medal. Remember Falila Togunkoya, Fatima Yusuf, Charity Okpara, great women in the 4x400 meters, winning medals for us, a silver medal for Team Nigeria. So we've traditionally done well at the relays, and I am really, really disappointed that because of some clashes, some politicking in the AFN, the crisis in the AFN, we are beginning to have some of these things, and it could affect our chances. It could affect the career of our young men and women. This is just something that is not acceptable. AFN has been embroiled in crisis now. You even have different factions. Even at the last National Sports Festival, there were, insinuations and everything. And so it's just something that you don't want to see. You want things to be done the right way in the country so that we can compete very well. Administration, everything is okay. But when you have different bodies writing to international bodies saying this is this group is not recognized, or what these people are doing is illegal and all of that, I mean, it doesn't bode well for the country. It's really, really disappointing that because of this crisis, you are having some of these issues popping up, and it might lead to a situation where your athletes will be denied opportunities to participate in international events. So something that we've got to tackle as quickly as possible.
All right, now let's leave Nigeria once again.
Before we leave Nigeria, there are some other issues. The NNL is going to resume this weekend, the second stanza, and after a 3 weeks break. So these are some of the matches that we'll be having. On Sunday, Oya Sport International will be taking on Gombe United. NAF FC versus Green Berets, and El Kanemi Warriors will be playing against FC Taraba. Then on Saturday, we are going to have, in Group B1 of the Southern Conference, we will have Oshun United taking on Nilayo FC, while Stars will play against Rovers, and Goran will be battling Giant Brillas. On Sunday, Delta Force versus Newe United, Dynamite Force taking on Vandresa FC, and 3SC will play against Ekiti United in B1. In B2, where Bendel Insurance are Apex Crane will take on Godoski, while Jatete will battle Bayelsa United. Crown FC versus Abia Comet, and Bendel Insurance will be playing against Gateway United. These are the matches that we have. Bendel Insurance match is going to be on the 2nd of May. So the Nigerian National League is back, and we expect
better performance from Venezuelans.
Exactly.
And, not just them alone, and also from
Dynamite
Force, yes,
and others.
Yes, so that they can get promotion to the top flight where they belong and not here. But then let's see how it is. Concerning Van Dresa, right now they have also been. Their fixtures have also been arranged, and I'm happy now that things have been, the dust has been settled concerning Van Dresa and the NLL. Thank God for the call we put across yesterday and the way things have gone. So I just hope that I'm urging other clubs to follow the way Van Dresa, they are trying to promote the image of football, the way clubs are run, and the branding, everything. It makes it so interesting, and it's makes the players feel at home once they train them. Though they're in the NNL, but once they get to the NPFA, in fact, what those guys are going to do, they are going to attract players from Africa and even from Brazil, just like FC Faniba used to do way back.
All right, let's talk grassroots football now. The Lion Izo competition is on, and we are in the quarterfinals, and some results from the quarterfinals. Gubadia FC played against Yak Sports FC. Yak Sports FC won 4-3 via penalties. It was goalless at full time. The goalkeeper of Yak Sports FC, Precious Ezekiel, was the hero. After stopping 2 shots, he then stepped up to score the winning goal. Then we also had Inestars beating Raiders FC 2-0. And on Friday, that's today, Rockers FC will take on Crown FC at 2 p.m., while BJ Foundation will be taking on Ken Ben FC at 4 p.m. These are the matches we have at the Lion Izo football tournament that's currently going on in Benin City.
If what I know about BJ Foundation is anything to go by, I think they are contenders for the title. Well, all the best to all the teams that are left in the last 8. All right, back to Europe. And yesterday, a stunning result from the Camp Nou, and it was the first ever win for Granada, and that has that's the host of Barcelona, who could have been on top of the table if they had won that match yesterday. They started very well. First half win for them, following Lionel Messi's goal in the first half, but in the second half, well, after the Granada equalized 2 matches, the manager Ronald Koeman was sent off, and it was like, I don't know what I've done. I've not insulted anybody. I spoke to him, and I was talking about the photo officer, and he spoke to me the same way. I never insulted him, but he was shown a red card, and that was, as if that was not enough, they went ahead and considered another goal, which gave Granada 2-1. That was a shocking one, and that could have given Barcelona the opportunity to be at the summit.
You see the results coming from the Spanish La Liga, and you wonder, does any team really want to win it? Because Real Madrid have had the chance to go top and stay there. They flopped them. not only against Real Betis. Several of the matches that they played draws, they could have won. Atletico Madrid had the chance to have pulled away a long time ago, but they have also struggled, and right now they are still within touching distance of both Real Madrid and Barcelona. Then Barcelona, having had a very poor season by their standards, but it's looking like they could win the treble. The double. They've already won the Copa del Rey, and now they had opportunities of going top of La Liga for the first time this season, and I'm really, really shocked that they failed to win. Look, absolutely, football is like biscuit. You don't know where it's going to crack. But if you had asked many people to predict yesterday, because the match was at the Camp Nou, they will tell you no way Barcelona were going to win. Maybe under other circumstances, perhaps you say, well, anything can happen. But knowing that if they fail to win yesterday, it could potentially be the end. Because all Real Madrid have to do now, if Real Madrid and Barcelona finish on the same points, Real Madrid will win the league, will be ahead of Barcelona because of the head-to-head. So I expected that Barcelona will get all 3 points yesterday. I haven't seen the other rivals drop points, but it didn't happen. Instead, they got beaten. They did not get a single point. It means now that because of that 2-1 loss to Granada, and imagine the team that beat them. And not disrespect to Granada, they are 8th on the table in the Spanish La Liga. But you will have thought, okay, if it were Real Madrid, if it were Sevilla, or if it were Villarreal or Atletico Madrid, we understand that these teams are also big teams. They could compete with.
Sevilla beat them last week
with Barcelona, but playing against they beat Villarreal. They beat Villarreal.
Yeah, away from home. Yeah, away from home.
But
football is really funny.
Losing to Granada 2-1, having taken the lead, it was just really, really embarrassing. So right now, Barcelona are third on the log. They've got 71 points from their 46 matches. Then second is Real Madrid, also on 71 points. And if you look at the goal difference, it's inferior to that of Barcelona. Barcelona on 46, Real Madrid on 32. But because of the head-to-head, they beat Barcelona home and away this season. That's why they are ahead of Barcelona. Then we've got Atletico Madrid top on 73 points. They know now that what they have to do is to just win their remaining 5 matches. It's easier said than done, but that is the reality. If they win their 5 matches, then they will be crowned champions. Real Madrid, having failed to get wins in some of their recent games, they will have maybe thought, it's all over, because they've already played Barcelona home and away. I think they played them Atletico Madrid also.
No, Barca would play Atletico.
No, Real Madrid. I'm talking about Real Madrid. I think they've played them home and away too. But whatever, they know now that they can't do anything with Barcelona anymore. They can't attempt to hold Barcelona back by beating them because they've already played them and they are on the same number of points. So having seen all of that and seeing that Barcelona could potentially go ahead of them, they must have thought the worst. They could have thought that, it's all over. Barcelona are going to go on to win this. But Barcelona have also dropped points yesterday and they have opened the door for Real Madrid again. So all they have to do now is to win their remaining matches and hope that Atletico Madrid drops points somewhere along the line and they will be champions.
All right, so let's see how things will pan out. But before we go on to talk about the Madrid Open, of which the defending champion Novak Djokovic pulled out due to 1 or 2 reasons. Then now you had some couple of matches where Joan Alcantara started very well. Let's quickly talk about this social media issue. Now, the social media company, the boycott of the social media, football is being joined by sporting bodies in a 4-day boycott. And remember, Thierry already started this campaign, and right now people are also saying yes, it's time for them to fight this abuse and discrimination, on social media and all that. I think this is the way to go. Let everyone come out and see how we can stop it. If the kind of force that they used to stop the ESL, from the breakaway and all that, I think if that same channel that same energy to this, I'm sure we're going to please fight it to the barest minimum.
Yeah, what they are doing, Premier League has joined and several sporting bodies are joining. What they plan to do is that from 3 p.m. British summer time, which is 3 p.m. Nigerian time also, from today, the 30th of April till the 3rd of May, Monday the 3rd of May, at 11:59 p.m. They are not going to post anything on the social media. They will be silent, social media blackouts, just to draw attention to the fact that the social media companies are not doing enough to fight racism. So it means that they will not use Facebook, they will not use Twitter, they will not use Instagram, they will not use any of these companies that operate on the social media, just to draw attention to the fact that, look, you guys are not doing enough to fight racism. The PFA have complained that they had about 56 cases of racial abuses that they've written to Twitter and some other companies about, and they've not done much about it. That even up till now, some of those tweets are still active. They were not taken down, they were not flagged, and all of that. So they want to really draw attention to it. Thierry Henry took himself off all social media platforms. Just said, look, I'm suspending it. These guys are not really serious about fighting racism. And honestly, if you go to some of these social media platforms, you will see it. It's obvious, it's there, and nothing is being done. Some of them are more toxic than the others, but you could see the toxicity that permeates through basically all of them. And it's really important that these messages will be passed. Lewis Hamilton is somebody that has been in the forefront, one of the loudest voices against racism. And he too is happy about this, is joining the social media blackout. But he raised an issue. His sport, Formula One, they are not taking part in it. Okay. And yeah, he called them out. He said he doesn't know why his own sport is not also joining football. The Premier League will be doing this. UEFA will be joining, and so many other organizations will be joining this. So he called out Formula One, and they responded by saying that they support the fight against racism and all of that. But
they are not going to boycott.
They are not boycotting. That they are working with the social media platforms to see how they can stop racism and all of that. But the truth is, if you do this for a couple of days, it's not going to change anything without it being consistent. So maybe it's not just, but it is important that they are doing this to draw attention, to let the companies know that we see what is going on, and we know that you guys are not doing much to help this situation. So maybe that will now draw attention, that will perhaps galvanize them to action so that they can properly handle this. And believe me, if they want to, they can actually do this. They can actually fight it. And that's what many are saying. That look at the way they fought against the European Super League. That's talking about football generally, UEFA, FIFA, and the rest of them. That if they were that serious about fighting racism, maybe by now they would have been able to eliminate it. But it just keeps happening over and over and over again, and really, it's not nice. So we hope that this boycott, the social media silence, is going to really draw attention to this, so that these companies can help us. Nobody is saying the companies themselves are racist, but when people are using your platform to spread hatred, you should be able to do something. Look, if you are not careful, people will just turn your platform to something else, and they will just be using it to either to spread conspiracy theories, to spread falsehood, to post hate messages and all of that. As a broadcast organization, when you call our station, there are certain things we tell you, no, please do not say this, we do not accept that. For what you said, you've got to take it back, you've got to apologize, or something else, So these companies have got to, you don't just put it in your terms and conditions that will not allow racism and all of that. But when you can see clear cases of racism, you are not basically doing anything about it, just because you know that the more people that use your platform, the more profit for you. And because of that, you are scared of really going all out. Because if you do, many of these organizations that thrive in hate speeches and racism, they've got so many members, and they can also pull out, and they will hurt you. You saw what happened, how long it took them before they started flagging Donald Trump's messages, and eventually how it affected them economically, because when he left with, there are millions of his followers who also left with him. And so they look at some of these things, and they I believe that's why they don't really go all out. Not that they don't know what to do, not that they don't know that it is wrong, or not that they themselves in particular support these things, but they are looking at some issues, and they will just, okay, we can let this go now, so it doesn't really matter. Just like what Sepp Blatter was saying all those years back when he was FIFA president. It's not like he supports president, but he just feels if somebody, if he says something racist to you, you too say something back, now I walk away. That can be done, but is that how to go about it? No, because everybody is not the same. Everybody, if you say some things to some people, they could get angry and punch you in the face, which will be violence, which is not tolerated. Or they could also say something nasty to you, also racially abuse you, and you feel, okay, you do me, I do, you got nervous and all of that. But it's not everybody that is wired that way. You could say it to some persons, and they break down, they start crying. You could say it to some other persons, they will go and commit suicide. So we've got to tackle it to the barest minimum and say, look, this thing is wrong, nobody should be doing it. And that's why it is important to fight this fight.
All right, so now let's quickly talk about tennis, then look at what happened in the NBA, as some teams are beginning to pick their playoff sports tickets. And yesterday in the Madrid Open, it was a fantastic one from British number 1, Joanna Konta, who somehow blows hot and cold. But yesterday, she began her clay court campaign with a victory over Yulia Putintseva in the first round of the Madrid Open. Seeded 15th at the event, she beat Kazakhstan's Putintseva 6-4, 6-2 for just her third victory of the year. The Britain who missed Great Britain's Billie Jean King Cup playoff tie against Mexico this month to prepare for the clay court swing. She will either play Anastasia Sevastova or Anna Bogdan next. Okay, that wasn't the only match that was played. Elsewhere, we had Bernarda Pera, who defeated Petra Matic. That was in straight set 6-3, 6-2. Kristina Mladenovic was beaten by Belinda Bencic, straight set 6-4, 6-2 as well. Then, Sevastova won a match over Agna Bogdan in straight set 6-love, 6-3. Then she will have to play Joanna Konta. Elsewhere, Laura Sigmund won over Katrina Kozlova, straight set 6-4, 6-2. That match ended where Paulo Badosa was able to beat Barbados Kariskova. That was straight set. Badosa won the straight set. The Spaniard won 6-1, 7-5. Okay, now let's look at basketball. In basketball, there were some matches yesterday, and the Mavericks took on the Nets. It was the Nets who got that victory. It was no, not the Mavericks. The Mavericks took on the Pacers. The Pistons, and it was Pistons who was beaten 105-115. So brilliant one for the Mavericks, who won over Detroit Pistons. But for the Brooklyn Nets, who took on Indiana Pacers, it was a dominant one for the Nets, 130-113 points.
Yeah, and for the Brooklyn Nets, top performer was Kevin Durant, got 42 points, 3 rebounds and 10 assists, while for Indiana Pacers, Chris Levert got 36 points, 4 rebounds and 5 assists. Milwaukee Bucks were also in action, but this time they were beaten by Houston Rockets, 143 points to 136. Jrue Holiday of Milwaukee got 29 points, 4 rebounds and 10 assists, while Kevin Porter Jr. of Houston scored 50 points, 5 rebounds and 11 assists. Golden State Warriors, well, they lost yesterday, but Steph Curry was still their top performer. He dropped 37 points, 6 rebounds and 8 assists. They got 114 points, but they were beaten by the Minnesota Timberwolves, who scored 126 points. Ricky Rubio was the top performer for Minnesota, getting 26 points, 6 rebounds and 6 assists. New Orleans Pelicans were in action against Oklahoma City Thunder. The Pelicans won 109 points to 95. Zion Williamson, who many feel, look, this is the best young player in the league. When you talk of people in their second season, he is the absolute best. He got 27 points, 8 rebounds and 6 assists for New Orleans, while Isaiah Roby got 13 points, 9 rebounds and 2 assists for Oklahoma City Thunder. Toronto Raptors were beaten by Denver Nuggets 122 points to 111. Kem Birch of Toronto got 20 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists, while Nikola Jokic of Denver got 19 points, 11 rebounds and 2 assists. The matches for tonight: Thunderhawks versus Philadelphia 76ers. San Antonio Spurs will take on Boston Celtics. Washington Wizards versus Cleveland Cavaliers. Portland Trail Blazers taking on Brooklyn Nets. Orlando Magic versus Memphis Grizzlies. Milwaukee Bucks will battle Chicago Bulls. Utah Jazz will take on Phoenix Suns. And Sacramento Kings will be away to Los Angeles Lakers, who are getting some of their big stars back. So we'll see what they will do. Right now, they are not. They are in the playoff places. We'll see if they will be able to hold it. But for the Eastern Conference, Brooklyn Nets and Philadelphia 76ers have already confirmed their spot. While in the Western Conference, we've got Utah Jazz and Phoenix Suns. They have confirmed their positions in the playoffs.
All right, let's take a pause from us here and look at the messages and see the number we can take because we've got 5 minutes before we wrap it up on the show this morning.
Okay. Let's see. Someone says we saw an all English final in Champions League and Europa in 2019. Champions League, Real Madrid versus Tottenham. Europa League, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Okay, yeah, that was right. Yes, that was correct. Then Europa League. Sorry, would love to see an all English final again. Peter from Uptown. Okay. Which one? Is it Uptown or is it Ugbowa? She sent me a message again and said Peter from Ugbowa. Alright. Let's see. I don't know if it's the same person sending this one. And also, okay, if Roma could do it to Barcelona, they can do it to Manchester United, and Arsenal are out already. Really? And also either Barcelona or Sevilla will win the league. Haba. Okay. Let's see. Many of these are not sports. Okay, those are the sports messages that we have.
Okay, let's quickly look at some of the transfer rumors that is making the rounds at the moment. We know this summer is going to be a bit tough, but there are some kind of transfers that you won't expect to take place, and right now things are going on behind closed doors. Okay, looking at some of the transfer gossips this morning, we can tell you that for Borussia Dortmund, they joined the race to sign a defender, an English defender, Ben White, who is 23, while Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United and Arsenal remain interested. That's really good. The Brighton's defender being tracked by big clubs in Europe. Aston Villa, they have been placed on alert after it emerged that Chelsea, they are willing to accept about £40 million for English striker Tammy Abraham. For Barcelona and Brazil midfielder Felipe Coutinho, who is age 28, is set for a surprise return to Merseyside with Everton in a move worth £35 million. The 28-year-old joined Barca from Liverpool for £142 million in January 2018. South Korea forward Son Heung-min, 28, is close to agreeing a new extended contract with Tottenham. It's all right. Inter Milan have told Manchester City they are not willing to listen to offers for Belgian striker Romelu Lukaku. As for Lukaku, he has also been linked with former club Chelsea, who would have to pay a club record fee of £105 million for the forward. For Luis Suarez, the Uruguayan who led Barcelona for Atletico Madrid last summer has told forward Lionel Messi to stay at the Camp Nou. Okay, Barcelona have discussed offering the 23-year-old Argentine a new 10-year contract, with Messi's father having had positive initial talks with club president Joan Laporta. Real Madrid has set to announce the signing of Austria defender David Alaba, who is age 28, on a free transfer from Bayern Munich when his contract expires this summer. For Leicester City, they will make a bid for Atalanta and Germany defender Robin Gosens, who is 26, should they secure Champions League qualification. All right, these are some of the rumors making the rounds for today, and it's time for us to leave. But before we go, we have a way of leaving the stage. It's time for us to blow the final whistle on the show this morning.
Hopefully, it will let the major media companies know that we are not going to take this abuse anymore. Do I think a 3 or 4 day blackout will make a difference? Probably not, but what it does is to send a warning to these companies that if you don't start regulating your platforms, it's going to be an indefinite blackout. Crystal Palace winger Andros Townsend reacting to the plans by several sporting organizations to take part in a social media boycott which aims to tackle abuse and discriminations running from 3 p.m. on Friday to 11:59 p.m. on Monday. And that was the final whistle on Sports Fiesta this morning.
And with that, we've come to the end of the show this morning. But don't worry, at 4 p.m., we'll be here to give you the evening edition of Sports Fiesta. Many thanks to you guys for being part of the show. And for those of you that sent your SMS, many thanks to you as well. To Salih Ibrahim, I want to say a big thank you for joining me on the show this morning. My name is Ewusa Agbeka in the Sportsman's Room, and I'm saying have a wonderful day ahead. And see you later at 4.